Hey guys, and welcome back. If you're new to my channel or simply not yet subscribed, my name is Brittany, and make sure to hit the subscribe button. I do have a Valentine's Day theme backdrop coming. I mean, I already have it. I just haven't put it up yet, so we still have a Christmas tree. We're going to dive right into our topic for today. Now, in the North Pacific Ocean near Monterey Bay, California, there's this big, mysterious creature that lies beneath the surface. This creature is as big as varying from an orca to a small whale. And its skin is wrinkled like an old man. Not much is actually known about this creature. However, sightings are not far and few between. They're actually decently common, at least common for a cryptid. One day, Mr. E.J. Lear had an account that he would report to Santa Cruz Sentinel in 1925. He was driving a team towards Capitola when he saw some young sea lions that weren't very far off from the shore. So naturally, they garnished his attention. I mean, who doesn't want to see baby animals? They were lined up with several older ones swimming back and forth in front of them. Now, farther out in the water, he noticed that the water was being turned to foam and it was splashing high in the air. Mr. Lear noticed that this creature was shiny at first, but he just thought it was a large fish. I mean, it is kind of hard to tell when you're so far away from something what something actually is, right? However, the weird thing was it seemed that at least a dozen of these sea lions were fighting this creature. And he thought that this creature looked around 30 feet long. Only a few days later, a strange creature's body would wash ashore and be discovered by Charles Moore in the same area that Mr. Lear had seen the creature. Dr. Barton Warren Everman from California Academy of Sciences examined this creature, and he believed that this animal was an eviscerated carcass of a beaked whale, specifically a rare Bard's beaked whale. Now, this whale is so rare that only 10 specimens exist in the world today. However, the body would also be examined by a naturalist named E.L. Wallace, who said that his examination of this creature was quite thorough. He felt in the mouth of the creature, and the creature didn't have any teeth. Its head was large and its neck was 20 feet long. The body was weak and its tail was only 3 feet long from the end of the backbone. Now, this would make the theory that this creature was some sort of whale impossible. The backbone of a whale would be much longer than any bone that was in this creature's body. And with the type of bill that this creature had, it would have been an herbivore. Mr. Wallace thought it was a type of plesiosaur. And later, he thought that this creature may have actually been preserved in a glacier for millions of years, and that it had finally been released with the gradual melting of ice, eventually making its way to Monterey Bay. Another encounter, it was a clear day in the fall. The ocean was flat, almost appearing like glass. Captain Sal Coletto was in his small salmon fishing boat 10 miles off of Moss Landing. He was on his way back to the shore to head home, and that's when he noticed something floating in the sea only half a mile farther out. At first, he was worried that it was a man, so he shot straight for them because he wanted to help. But then when the captain got within 100 feet, he noticed this wasn't a man. The creature had a head the size of a 50-gallon barrel with a duck-like bill. that came out of its bulging forehead. Coletto started to think about the fishermen that have recently went missing in the area, so he was like, yeah, no thanks, and he just shot straight for shore. He decided that he was never going to tell anybody about what he saw because it was just too crazy. And then it take too long before he would figure out that somebody had quite a similar experience. Now, 16 years later, Coletto would be traveling towards the fishing ground off of Half Moon Bay on his boat called the Dante Alighieri. His crew ate below while Coletto was with his brother-in-law up on deck, and they were sharing fishing stories. All of a sudden, his brother-in-law started describing this strange creature that he had spotted a few times at the edge of the deep Monterey Submarine Canyon. This creature would only surface on calm, sunny days 24 hours before a strong northwest wind started to blow. Now, this was a windless day, and the sea was calm. Coletto looked out towards the Santa Cruz Mountains. He saw something bobbing in the sea, and he realized that this was the same creature that he had seen years before. The captain called his crew up on deck because he wanted them to see what he was seeing. This strange yet magnificent creature. He drew the boat closer and he cut the motor. The boat came as close as 50 meters to the beast. The creature's eyes had stayed closed. It floated on the surface, peaceful, as if it was sleeping. One crew member was like, its face looks like a monkey. And the other one was like, no, look at its wrinkled skin. It's like an old man. The one that thought that the face looks like a monkey thought that this was a bad omen and they needed to leave immediately. Suddenly, with all of the talking, the creature opened its eyes. Its eyes were as big as grapefruits, with a body brown and almost as big as the boat. Skin was wrinkled and it hung loose, almost like it just, it was saggy. It seemed like an older creature. While the crew debated what this creature looked like, what it could be, the creature slowly sunk back below the surface. And eventually, this creature would start to be known as Bobo, the old man of the sea. And even though others would have their own experiences with Bobo, Coletto would never see the creature again. In 1971 or 1972, another sighting would occur. This time, it was two brothers with their dad. They had rented a 60-foot boat and were heading into the bay. One of the brothers were at the controls, while the other brother was next to him, and their dad was sitting behind them. All of a sudden, only a dozen yards in front of them, a large creature began to surface. They were so close to this creature, so they got a pretty decent look at it. And the easiest way that they could describe this creature is that it looked like some prehistoric sea creature. And one thing that makes this account stand out is they say that the creature had scales, which isn't really mentioned in the other accounts. Now, in January 2009, there would be an episode on Animal Planet of Lost Tapes, and it regarded Bobo. This creature would talk about Sarah Novak and a sea creature. The story goes, Sharon Novak had planned a trip to sail for Sailboat Artemis around the world. She was a journalist, so when she had gotten a distress call in Monterey Bay, she instantly went to the scene. However, when she arrived, there was just an empty boat. Suddenly, Sharon's boat got knocked into, and she fell into the waters. It's said that while she was trying to swim back onto the boat, that she was eaten by a sea creature. A camera that was placed on a sail mast recorded her trying to get back into the boat. In the footage, a fin appears, and there's some splashing, but there's not much clarity to the actuality of this event. This was said to have happened in the summer of 2007. However, there's no news stories about Sharon Novak or of a lone woman boat owner going missing in Monterey Bay. There is, however, a 42-foot sailboat named Artemis that is owned by Great Traditions of the Sea in Malibu, California. This boat is available to rent, so it could have possibly have been her boat. So do you think that this story was just a cover-up? It was just easier to pretend like she didn't exist rather than she mysteriously went missing by an unidentified sea creature, or just something that someone came up with, another story. But if the creature did actually eat Sharon, how come there's no records of the creature attacking any of the other witnesses? So many people that have come face to face with this creature, face to face with Bobo, and it almost seems like it's just this peaceful sea creature, this peaceful sea monster that is just kind of saying hi and doesn't want to harm anybody. There are no other accounts that I could find, at least, of this creature attacking anybody. The only mention of Bobo attacking somebody is for the Lost Tapes episode. So is it just TV trying to make something more exciting? Or are the ones that Bobo attacked just they were never heard of again? So let me know what you guys think. I think sea creatures or sea monsters are so fascinating. I love the old maps that have the sea monsters, like beware of sea monsters. They're waiting at the edge of the earth when it's like the flat earth. I love those maps. I think they're really, really cool. And I definitely believe in sea monsters. I think that there's something more out there. Just like, I don't think it's crazy for there to be mermaids or kelpies or so many different creatures of the sea that, because we don't know. We don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button for me. And until next time, I love you guys. Bye.